describe the culture for each of the company and the kind of people you're working with? And secondly, given that many of us, we are not from the same year, so we are like a mix of different years, and some of us are going to graduate. I'm just curious to know, like, based on your experiences, you have so many internship experience and also working with different founders. What are some of the mistakes when it comes to going into career that would recommend to like avoid?
The mistakes when it comes to
Choosing a career.
Choosing.
Or entering into a career.
Okay. And what companies do you want me to describe the work culture of? Properas.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hardly comparable because Xnode is a company with 90 people, and Properas is a company with 4 people plus a couple of like a network of advisors that work loosely with it. So you can imagine it's really hard to compare, right? Xnode is a very international Chinese company, so it's inherently a Chinese company, but then all the Chinese people that work there, they talk perfect English, they have been abroad for quite some years, they came back, so that's highly unusual, of course. It's not normal to work in a company like that. And then about the mistakes I often see young graduates make is one thing that I preach very often on social media, in fact, is I tell them, have a long-term plan. So ask yourself, what I do is I project myself into my next life stage, so in 10 years. So what will it look like when I'm 35? And then I imagine myself, okay, I'm 35 or 40 or 50, I don't know, but let's say I'm 40 and I'm looking back on my life. What are the things that I want to have achieved in order to sit there aged 40 and be content with myself, to say, okay, so far I did pretty well. So it's kind of reverse engineering what I need to achieve in the future, in order to be 40, sitting there looking back and saying, okay, I was very happy with what I achieved in terms of my career. So just do something like that, I don't know how old most of you guys are, but at 10 years, ask yourself, where do I want to be in 10 years? How does my life look like broadly, and am I like traveling 5 days out of 7 days? Am I based in a super luxurious villa in Malta? Am I living a modest life in Switzerland? Do I have a family? How does all of that look like, And then kind of from this huge vision that you have, ask yourself, okay, how do I get there in detail? And what are the different options I have that fit to my personal profile? And then you'll, have a couple of options. You will have like, okay, I might start my own business, or I might go into consulting, or I might try to get into venture capital. And then you properly weigh the pros and cons of those, and you again think about the big picture. How does each of those really fit into that? And too many people in general, they just jump from one opportunity to the other. There's no big vision behind, and so at some point they will get pretty far, but they could have gone much further if they had that strong internal compass. Yeah. And I say all of that like I was Bill Gates. I'm not. Like my journey has not, is just at the beginning. Nevertheless, just by interacting with all people on social media that I interact with, they're all like you. They are young, they're super ambitious, they have high goals. And just by interacting with all of those, I get a pretty good feeling of what they think, and I can relate to the mistakes that I maybe did 5 years ago or so.